Hello and welcome to Center 1 of our seed dispersal unit in our adaptations year for ELF. This center is all about observing seeds and seed suitcases, as they call them, or the fruit or flowers that seeds come in, and also looking at the dispersal of seeds and the different methods of dispersal. Things like blowing in the wind, being carried by animals, floating on water, etc. So there is a ton of information and pieces to this center, so definitely pick what you think is going to be most useful and impactful for the age kiddos you have. The first activity here, which I think is probably core to the whole unit this time, is just observing seeds and the fruit or flower, the plant that it comes in. So for instance, we have some plastic fruits and vegetables here, a peach and a cucumber for instance, and we have the matching seeds to it. So we got a peach seed, cucumber seeds. These are on cards that tell you what the fruit or flower is on the front of the card and gives you the seeds on the back. So it gives you a chance to just sit down with the kids. There is a sheet in the bin here that you can lay out so that the seeds don't go everywhere, but a chance for everybody to just look at the seeds, talk about their structure, things like are they smooth, are they light, are they heavy, etc., and just do some basic observations. Also talk about what the suitcase is that the seed comes from and why those things might be important. There's some background in the literature here that talks about that as well. It does encourage you to bring in your own seeds as well on top of what's here. Again, if you bring in your own seeds, it's a good chance to dissect some of them, look at them a little more closely. Ask you please not to dissect or damage the seeds that are here on the cards because everybody needs to use them. There is some reference material here that's good to show, especially when you start talking about the methods of travel and dispersal for seeds. So for instance, there's a sheet here that breaks down different ways that seeds might be dispersed by wind, hitchhikers, the fruits or grasses that animals might eat and carry, by land, by sea, or what do they call these, shakers and springs, so the ones that, like poppies that kind of blow up and throw their seeds out. So while you're observing the seeds, you can talk about what adaptations each kind of seed might have to benefit it in the way it travels. For instance, a cherry, once a bird might eat a cherry and carry the pit. A plant that has a burr on it might be picked up by an animal and carried away, or one that might float. If you bring in some, want to experiment with the kids, one that might float could be carried by water, etc. And then the last thing you can do at the center, there are some hand lenses in here, and the kids can look at them, and there are copies of this blank sheet that lets the kids write down some of their observations if you think that's appropriate for the grade level. And there are some examples in here that show a drawing, the name of the plant, or the drawing of the plant itself, or the suitcase the seeds come in, and then looking at the seed and drawing some of the observations that they see on the specific seed. And again, they can relate that to how the seeds might be dispersed. So again, a lot of just observing and talking through the different seeds with the kids. I think this one gives us a chance to learn along with the kids. Definitely says in the literature here, don't feel like you need to be a seed expert. You can learn right along with them. There are no wrong answers, obviously, when we're doing these scientific observations. So hopefully you can have some fun with that. If you have any questions, email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com.